25 years ago, a couple said yes to being vessels for God's great love plan for the Northwest District of Botswana. They left their homeland with nothing but God's vision planted in their hearts and a willingness to being the hands and feet for God's plan to unfold.
I got to the place in my life I thought there must be more than just living for myself. And this set me on a great quest to see if I could make my life count for something more. And I met Jana, and we both had an incredible encounter with the Lord, and that brought us to Africa.
When we came to Botswana, we were out in tent camping and just sharing the gospel with little groups of people in very remote areas.
We didn't have much to work with, but we just said, let's do what we can with what we have.
And then we thought, what can we do to leave a lasting legacy?
I remember going out in the full moon of the Kalahari and just literally reaching down into the soil of the ground and speaking to that soil and saying, in the name of Jesus, I command these buildings to come forth. And so everything that you see really came by faith.
We had some wonderful people that partnered with us, and we started a Christian school. The name was Ngamiland Christian Academy. And through the school, we began to see something that would remain in the country and that would go on and live past us. 10 years later, we added high school and named the school Okavango International School. And so the school's been going for over 20 years, and we've seen hundreds of young people come through the school and emerge as leaders within this country. From the time we drafted our papers for Love Botswana and got registered in the country, one of our visions on that original document was media, to have an opportunity to broadcast the gospel in different languages. So Studio 7 was birthed as a result of that. I heard a voice inside of me from the heart of God that said, Jana, I count the stars, I call each one by name, and I want you to help rescue babies. So Lorato House was birthed through that experience that I had with God. And today we have 14 babies that we take care of 24/7, a dedicated, wonderful staff, and we can take up to 74 as God gives us the capacity to be able to take that many. In 1991, we partnered with Teen Mania, a wonderful organization that sends teenagers all around the world. Over 15 years, there were over 3,000 young people that came through Love Botswana and served in Maun and in the remote areas of the north of Botswana. And today, there are churches planted from those trips. The next thing we saw happen was we started Love Botswana Bible Institute. We began to see leaders beginning to rise up from those remote areas where we would do evangelism, and there would be little house groups started and little churches started. So through that time, we began to see leaders come up, and they needed training. We wanted them to be trained right in Maun, where they could go right back and make a difference in their communities. 18 years now that Fire by Night, every Friday night, young people gather. What started as a small group of young people now has grown to over anywhere from 150 up to 300, depending on the time of year. Students that come and they have fun, wholesome recreation. They have a blast. Their lives are impacted for eternity. They're making a difference with their lives in their schools. They're not all just from our school, they're from all the schools in the community. It's not about buildings. Buildings make it happen for people. We've been meeting under trees, we've been meeting in tents for years, doing these programs, but now we have a home. We have a home for all of the programs that have risen up through the years through Love Botswana. The Life Center is a multi-purpose facility. It caters for everyone in the community.
In 25 years, you can imagine, we've had a lot of hardships. It hasn't always been easy, but I'd have to say it's always been worth it.
Perseverance has paid off. It's paid off, and we're still persevering, and we're excited to see this thing through till Jesus comes.
Everything that you see about Love Botswana today has a miracle story behind it, and really, there's no fingerprints of man on it. It's the fingerprints of God.